Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the pod, the panel. It's good to be back. After a 2 week stint. Oh man. We got a special guest tonight who I'll introduce in here in a sec. But first, we gotta go through our main guys. First off, we got Kendall the Weasel Wins. Hey, Kendall. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to be on, boys.
Welcome back. Next we got Cam NHS Penner. Hey,
Hey,
Cam.
corn on the
Hey.
cob.
Cents for no help side. No
No
help
help
side, Cam
No
side.
help side.
Penner.
There it
Defense
is.
campaigner.
I had to get my get back a little bit. And then we got our special guest, the Frozen
Ah!
Grizzly, who had a great game last game. 2 for 2 from three. Levi Freezer. Yes, sir.
Let's
Thank you for having me on.
let's get right into that 2 for 2, and that one should have been an and one, right? Had to have been an and one.
Levi, hold on. Levi, can you tell
Yeah.
them what you told me on the sideline?
Okay, so uh, so
Before
what
we
I
call
told
it an
Cam,
and one.
yeah, before we call it an animal. So the thing was, like, I felt casing go into me, but the only reason that I felt casing go into me was because as I was coming down on my shot, I put, I may or may not have like landed funny, and like if you want to call it like a little bit of a Reggie Miller reach to get the foul. I thought I was going to get it because Billy was hyping me up, but I didn't. And well, I definitely felt contact, but
So what you're saying,
where'd
Levi,
Cam go?
is what you didn't learn from your flopping injury last year with Carl? Because I feel like this is the same thing then.
Sounds a little familiar.
That one wasn't a flop. He actually stepped on my foot, but this one I
You
was
kicked the
trying to
leg
get
out a
home.
bit.
He
You
he
kicked
can
the leg
step on
out a
your
bit.
foot. That doesn't mean you have to fall back on your head.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Gosh.
I'll take it. It was good though. I'm glad it went in. I just was looking for a 4-point play. I was one free throw away from double digits, so I could have made it, but
That was
yeah,
close.
whatever.
You're there, man. You're only going up.
Almost there. Almost there.
Yeah, love it. All right, yeah, welcome guys. Great to get together again here. One thing I wanted to do, shout out. So last time we were on, we talked about you guys wanted me to pay for premium Zoom subscription, and I said I'm not paying for that. And we talked about the sponsorship, and someone in the league clutched up, sent me a message, and said, "All right, I'll cover the premium costs." So I was like, "Hey, that's sweet," but I convinced him instead that we had some more pressing needs. So we're going to act as if we have the premium subscription. Our goal is that you guys won't even know the difference. We'll blend it together so well. And instead, his sponsorship is going to go towards game ball. So I'm going to purchase a game ball, only be used during games, as well as championship trophy. So
Whoa!
Let's go.
That's what you like to see.
yeah. So thanks, and Mr. Anonymous. Appreciate you. You're a stud in the league, man. Love you.
Stud.
All
Stud.
right. With that, let's
Big
get
stud.
into it. So let's start big picture. Let's start teams. We've seen teams together for 2 games now after the draft. Who surprised you? Who impressed you? Who maybe was a little bit disappointing? Yeah, get into it. Let's start with the new guy, Levi. What do you got for us, man?
If I remember correctly, the last time that I watched a panel, or the last time that I was talking about like teams in the league with other people, a lot of people had some fear towards Boardman gets paid. And while they did they did make us sweat severely in that first game, particularly you, Kendall, because you didn't have Devo. Um, I don't know. Have yet to put up W against somebody who isn't the sub squad, and they only beat the sub squad by a bucket. So
That was a pretty elite sub squad, though.
it was a very elite sub squad. Um, I keep seeing I like keep on going to check stats and I keep seeing the number 95 pop up. And I'm like, it's not the same player because it's got to be a different sub wearing 95 every time. But who was 95 this last game? Was that Barch?
No, I think 95 would have been Nate. Nate
Nate.
Moria. And I think he did wear 95 both games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he had 17 on 89% shooting, which is like insane. It's almost as nice as Justin's almost as nice as Justin's 34 on 72. But yeah, Boardman gets paid. I feel like Mike Greeno also isn't like 100% healthy, so they might get better, but a little bit underwhelmed or not as afraid of them as I thought we needed to be. So
Cool. Said
yeah,
getting that target already. I love it. Well done, Levi.
but
Off to a
it's just
great
for me.
start.
It's just for me
Kendall's not
personally.
afraid
So
either. He said
clear out
before the
there.
pod too. Yeah.
Yeah, just before we opened this podcast, I said, Levi, don't put the target on us. And that's first thing. That's what he starts doing. So I love it. Love you, Levi. Welcome to the podcast. Panel. Carter, Cam, anything to add about Boardman gets paid then?
You go for it, Cam.
I still think they're scary. We haven't seen them with their full squad. They've had a couple subs both games, so I'd like to see them with all 7 guys. I still don't want to play them defensively. I think they did a pretty good job. Or the sub squad put up a lot of points, but that was a pretty good sub squad. But what was their first game there? They held the Casco Crush to 66, an offense heavy team. So I don't know. I still like the look of them. Still nervous to play them. Yeah, and Mike wasn't there last week, so he's a good leader of that team. So we play them first week, so I guess that'll be a good testing ground for us and for them, just to see if my ranking and Kendall's ranking of Boardman gets paid at number 1. If that holds true, we'll see though.
Yeah, I completely agree with Cam. I'm not looking forward to playing them. I still think they're a very, very elite squad. The more I look at their team, the less I want to play them. Mike Marriott has been known for playing really good defense, and as a small guard who likes to try to get to the hoop sometimes and get space, create space, it's not fun playing against him. And then if he's not on the court, who's guarding me? Logan, maybe. That's not fun. So it just adds up to a lot of like, it was not fun for me, and we'll see how it goes for the squad as a whole. But I still think they're very elite, and they had played a great game against Casco Crush, who I put as first, and they only lost by, what was it, 2 or 4?
2. Yeah, 2.
2. So that's what I have to say about that.
And I'm just worried about the depth too. Like I think Isaiah's been their second leading scorer in both games, and he is a later pick in the draft, and he's just getting buckets and shooting a good percentage from 3 and tall and blocking shots and rebounding. So I think their depth is just something that you don't want to go up against.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's the big thing for me. I think Marriott got the 2 steals of the draft. I think he got 2 of the biggest steals of the draft. In Garrett and Isaiah a little bit later than I think they should have went. And they're putting up big numbers. They're playing well as a squad. Yeah, I think that's still my one of my top teams. And then we saw just the fact that both games were so tight, right? And we talked about this before, that they will be in games always, right? Just because that defensive end, they're going to take care of it. So, yeah, no, I still think that's a scary team, not a team that I want to play against. We did see a lot of fouling. So I think Jackson went to the line a handful of times, 12 free throws or so in our game with them. It's tough to play great defense, that aggressive, without fouling. So if they can, I don't know, keep that in check, gonna be a good squad.
For sure.
Carter, who you want to talk about?
I'll probably talk about Shake and Bake. Getting 2 wins in the preseason round. They weren't.
Hold on. Did you say 2 wins?
Are you talking about Shake and Bake or net profits?
Net profits. My bad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Net profits.
There you
Yes.
go.
The team with Josh Crawford on it. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically,
That team.
that
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically, like they weren't like substantial wins. They beat Shake and Bake by 2 last game. But if they're a team that just keeps coming out and making it happen and closing out games, and you have Josh Crawford down the stretch with Braden hitting some shots here and there, and Alex Vanderstoel's fired up from our pod. He told me that lights a fire up his, you know what. So interesting
Mm-hmm.
to just hear from him on that. But that's a team that like I have ranked low in my preseason rankings and my pre-draft rankings, but a team that could surprise, I think, because they have Josh Crawford and they have a pretty solid, well-rounded team that can D up and play well. So just intrigued to see how they go into this regular season, but 2 wins under their belt in the preseason is something you can't really ignore. So
Yeah. Looks like they've got that closer that they need for close games. Give that ball to Josh. He's definitely going to be in the MVP conversation if he makes enough games this year, which I think he will. He seems committed and wants to win. So scary, man. Scary thought.
Quick thought on that, Cam. So I think what we're going with again this year, you have to play minimum 5 games to be eligible for awards. And of those 5 games, it's out of 7. So 6 regular season and that first playoff game. So you gotta make 5 out of 7 games in order to be eligible. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're choosing to do other things and not prioritize basketball.
Hashtag
Well,
ball is life.
I one of my like more gentler hot takes is about Josh Crawford, and I feel like if Josh makes the minimum last season, I feel like he gets MVP. Because I have his stats from the game before he left for England, which I also know why he left for England, so I understand why he needed to go. But he had 35 points and 11 assists in the game before he left for England. And then it took him, I think it took him a game to get back up to speed. But I have a feeling like if he plays a full season, that MVP is his to lose.
It's reasonable. That's reasonable. Yeah, I think although to be fair, I was gonna say I think he has to be contributing in other ways. And I think we've seen his assist
Yeah.
pretty solid this year so far. Rebounding, I think especially with his squad, he has to commit to getting inside and
Oh,
taking
yeah.
boards as well, right? He can out jump anyone in the league, so he's got to be willing to get in there.
Yeah. Last game against Shake and Bake, one of the bigger teams, he had 14.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right next to Patty's 15. So it's like, that's pretty close.
Yeah. And that'll be big for his case for MVP run. On that team, Alex as well, big game this week. Alex, I'm gonna be honest, I call you soft sometimes. And I was hyped that game because you were bodying up people inside, you were attacking. I was like, this is Alex, let's go. I love it. So
It's the
I hope,
fire that he needs.
yeah, I hope to see that continue because that was fun to watch. And he can hit that mid range too, right? So when he's
Yeah.
able to balance both, no, I love that. That was sweet to see. Uh, yeah, and then they pulled that win out against a bigger squad without Baltazar too, who's their probably go-to rebounder. Was great
Mm.
to see Braden step up. He played a lot of inside ball, pounded it down inside, getting after boards. So no, yeah, that team impressed me. I'm pleasantly surprised, we'll say. And I don't see any reason for them not to be able to continue with that level of success.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, who you want to talk about?
Oh man, I guess we should talk about the team that beat us by 30 or 25 or whatever it was. The Billy Goats. I don't
What
know, man.
happened? Like what
Hey,
happened?
hey,
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
tell you on the pod before we did the preseason. I said this team can beat someone by 40 if they start shooting the lights out, and that's what happened. We were down by 2 going into the fourth quarter, and Justin, he ended 6 for 10 from 3, and I'm pretty sure all 6 of those threes were in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And Dylan DeLue shot 5 for 6 from 3, and I'm pretty sure 4 of those are in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Something ridiculous was going on. Everyone was just banging shots. We went cold. Carter started heaving up, half courts and whatnot. And I don't know, man. When that team gets hot, they're scary. I think variance is going to be a big part of their season, just as I predicted before the pre-draft or before the exhibition games.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. They're good. Justin Surface looking like a top 6 pick right now. He's cooking. Love to see it.
He's
Billion.
pretty, I haven't seen the trash talk, but the on his head on Scotty. I don't know if I'd ever trash Scotty that way. Like the next game is gonna be fun to watch.
Mm.
Any other three he makes, he's doing the oh yeah, like
Oh yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
Running his
know.
let's
hands through
go.
the hair.
He's vibing too hard right now, I think.
He's so
Yeah,
smooth.
Yeah, we need to get a defender on him, shut him down for a few games, I think. I don't know.
exactly.
But yeah, all around they had a pretty good squad. Like JVB had 6 points, but he had 13 boards and 8 assists, which is like great all around play. He's a tall guy. He's got to get in there and get those rebounds and dish the ball, and he did that kind of point forwardy. So yeah, they got a good squad all around. Yeah, but when they're hitting, they're hitting. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I was out there on the court and I just was at a loss.
Yeah, because it's what tied it then the third. I wish we had stats broken down by quarters because that fourth quarter,
Well, yeah, it was
Central was
62, 64, 62 for them at the end of the third quarter, and they finished with 104 points. They scored 40 points in the fourth
Mhm.
quarter.
I
And
I think Jared was huge for them too, though, right? They picked him up as a sub, and like Chase is great. Don't get me wrong, but Chase is going to shoot more three balls. He's going to be more on that perimeter. Whereas having Jared in there, when he went for 18 boards, he kind of was the glue for that squad in that game. So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
And yeah, Dylan as a sub shooting 5 for 6 is awesome. I know Frank is yet to get hot in this league. I think he will at some point, but man, just shooting, 80% from threes gonna kneecap you, which it did for us. But
Hey Cam.
also, shout out Tim Whitehead.
Cam, do you wanna tell the panel what you told me before that game when like I think it was while we were like on a timeout or something reffing, and you pulled me over. You said something that you were something along the lines of that you versus Billy, how you may or may not have had or we're going to have a massive game against him. Am I
Did I say
misquoting
that?
you here at all?
I don't remember that. I don't know. I don't remember
vividly
saying that.
remember that.
Yeah, well, 12 and 10 isn't bad. Didn't shoot it very well, but got to do more. GM's got to step up. Listen, Carter, I'll take that L. That's not on you. Okay, that's on me.
Thanks, Cam. I appreciate that. I can always step up too, though. It's on the whole squad, not just you.
What do you think about that game, Carter? What are your thoughts?
Well, Kendall came over and sat beside me in the fourth quarter because I was kind of just sitting there in disbelief because I think I shot 4 threes to start that fourth quarter and they clanked out. And everything was falling in off the rim, bouncing in for them. And I just went and took a sub. I sat down and I took a sub and I was just shocked. I didn't really know what to say. It was great shooting and props to them, but like I think we did fall a little bit flat on defense in the end there and getting nothing going on offense and coming back on defense and just getting put it on right on your head. It was demoralizing for the first 10, so I think we kind of mailed it in a little bit. But it's a tough game. Props to the Billy Goats. But I'm excited to play him again. It'll be a good game. Hopefully we can give him a little something more. But
agreed. Yeah.
Right on. Who else? Let's talk about our shake and bake. We got shake and bake. I was impressed with their ability to move the ball. They had some nice high-low actions. They they were quicker than I was expecting as well. Again, Joe, Sean, Tyron, Ezra, like they got enough speed there. Patty's been balling. He's been playing great. So yeah, I've been impressed with them. A team that's very difficult to ref. So officials, when you guys have that squad, it is tough just because like they have so many size mismatches. So when you're trying to when you're trying to defend them, you almost have to foul. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one officiating that squad throughout the year.
Yeah, fair enough from Shake and Bake.
Mhm.
Definitely like to get out in transition, and Joe and Sean are actually really fun to just watch, just them go at teams. And obviously it
yeah.
brought my boy Ezra into the league, and I like the way he plays. I think he has a lot to give still. I think he has a lot to show. But yeah, we're just gonna have to kind of see with that team. I think they have a lot of potential. Um, yeah, and they're very intriguing with their big man trio, and just the way they play. Want to see a little bit more out of Tyron. I think I saw he went 1 for 11 last game. Like that's just too much climbing, not enough basketball. That's what I got to say about that. But and I think the haircut also loses a bit of that aerodynamics that he's used to. So
Aerodynamics.
yeah,
Oh, that's a
so
nice word. I
so
think you're the first person in human history to use that word.
and no, actually, yeah. Anyways, well, it'll be interesting to see how the team goes, the team rolls.
I like seeing Shake and Bake stay close in these games because I think we all had them lower on the power rankings before the exhibition matches, but they whole team's low. They held us to 57. They only lost by 7. They lost to Net Profits by 2, who scored 80 the previous game and held them to 62. So they're in these games, just shows how good the league is and how good all the teams are. I think we're all pretty close in terms of skill level and where we're going to end up in the standings. It's going to be fun. I don't think any team will go undefeated this year. But I think teams can catch other guys on off nights, and it's going to be kind of wild. Pat has been balling. I love Pat. Pat's great. He's been cooking.
Do you think there's any chance? Obviously, we saw how successful Billy's squad is with a true big. Nick's squad maybe doesn't need Patty as much as Billy. Do you see like a Patty for Chase trade coming? And then something.
I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah, I don't want that at all.
No, we don't want that.
I don't
Evan,
want
don't
that.
do that. I know Billy's fiending for it. He's fiending, but he's not going to get it. No, Evan took Pat. He wanted him at 10. He took him, and number one option Pat is just taking the league by storm. Possible MVP candidate.
I just think that Evan's team has got like they all just look like such nice guys to play with. Like if I was gonna pick a team of like the kindest people in the league to play on a team with, I think I would pick Shake and Bake. And it's not that like Tyron is like he's one of those like energetic, like happy, nice guys that can like be really frustrating to play against. But like as like that's the kind of like energy you want on your team and not playing against. And like Joe and Sean, I honestly I think I've said more words to both of those guys than they've said their entire like I don't know if I've ever heard Sean talk like at all. Um and I think that's just like how like kind he is. I've never even seen him get like hype after like a and one bucket. Maybe I'll see it this season when he like, just when I, have to foul him. Uh but him and Joe, I think I've said like 5 words to Joe too. I don't know if those guys talk, but like everyone on Shake and Bake just looks like so nice, so kind.
You're saying they got to get mean. They got to get mean to win some games.
Maybe, and maybe they'll I know Patrick has told me several times that he plans to put me in a body bag, but I mean, like I went to school with Patrick and I just remember him as just this like tall, lanky teddy bear. And now he's just a tall teddy bear, you know? He's got that future father bod, and honestly, like I think I think Patrick's gonna lead the league in rebounding for sure this year.
Well, that hurts, Levi. That really
Yeah, that's
Wow.
cold. That's cold. You're on
Wow.
You told me to take the target off our back. That's what I'm trying to do, brother.
No, that just grew
I
it.
mean,
Yep.
like the top three guys that I have for that are Patrick, Kendall, and Tim. Those are the guys
Tim
that
has
I
been
can
getting a
see.
lot of rebounds. Tim's been
Those
are the
getting a
guys
lot of
I can
rebounds.
see.
We're playing against Shake and Bake the last game of the season. If I need to get, I will tip balls to Patrick if it means he'll beat Kendall in the rebounding race. On the offensive end, I will tip it right to him so they can score. I don't care if they score. They win, that's fine. As long as Patty's number one.
see. On Levi's note, I think Levi might be right. I think part of the problem is that my team didn't miss this week. So
Mm,
I'm crashing the
true.
boards, and eventually I just quit. I was like, it's just gonna go in every time. What's the point of me going inside?
Kendall's put the target on 2. Let's go.
At some point, I might have to.
Go.
I might have to demand a trade just so I can get some rebounds.
Your boys weren't missing, were they?
It was pretty crazy there for a while.
What did you guys shoot from 3 here? Hold on. 15 for 36, 42%. That's pretty good.
Good,
It's a good percentage for a
That's a
team.
great percentage.
Yeah.
I think everybody but Devo and Tristan on our team was shot 50% from the field.
It's true. Look at that. 50% across the board. Devo at 41
Mhm.
and Tristan at 36. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Holy
And
cow.
Tristan even had like some hot moments too. He
Yeah.
like there was one play where he came through and he dribbled through 2 guys, put it between his legs, and then like came in and then kicked it out to Jackson. And Jackson just looked at it with such disappointment with like, if you dribble through that many guys, like just put it up.
Pull up.
Yeah.
I did feel for a moment there during that game, it felt reminiscent of the old squad, the stacked squad a few years back, where I just got to relax when I'm
Yeah.
going for 6 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. I'm just chilling. I'm loving it, loving life. Jackson, well done, man. I had to draft that squad.
Also a very fun squad to be on. Yeah, that's
Oh my gosh. Just make out. I can't. I don't want to hear it anymore. This is
Cam turns off his camera because he just doesn't
done,
want to
man.
see it.
I'm done.
He just
Yeah,
hates
what
to see
were
it.
you saying that Billy was saying the other day?
Oh,
was he
what?
complaining about?
I said something that Billy was complaining about?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many to choose from. I'm just kidding, Billy. I know you watched the panel. I can't remember. What was it about?
Oh, I think you were saying he was complaining that we let it happen again.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh yeah, he came up to me. He said, "How do we let this happen?
Yeah.
How do we let this squad happen?" I'm like, "Well, you could have taken Devo,
Yeah.
but Devo fell to Jackson, so I don't know, man." Well, there was talk that Mike Marriott was going to take Kendall at 4.
Yeah, I wanted Mike to say Kendall.
That would have been so awesome.
I wanted Mike to say
But
Kendall.
then we would have seen
That
Kendall
team would have
average.
been insane, though. Actually,
We would have seen Kendall average like 30, 20, and 10 or something as a
Oh,
number one
yeah.
option, bro. That would have been
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That would have been pretty fun. But
Very
no, I
cheap
don't
team.
think Billy can blame anyone but himself. He could have easily taken me. He could have easily taken Devo. He had spots to do it. So I think he's the main reason. If last night or the other night is any sign of things to come, Billy, your fault.
And the target gets bigger.
yeah,
and it gets
seriously.
bigger. Principal's office.
Principal's office. We played them. I'll let you guys break them down.
I have no idea what to think of this team. I have no clue. They got Dubsy, the guy who never loses, but I don't know. They got smoked last game by the Casco Crush. Bari's good. You know, Bob is great. Klaus drafted a pretty all-around solid squad. I just want to see. I don't know. I don't know what I'm waiting to see out of them. I have no idea.
I think Klaus gave himself the green light too late in that game because we kind of started relaxing towards like the last couple of minutes, and Klaus came down and hit like back-to-back threes, and I feel like he probably needed to give himself the green light a little bit earlier. because like he did have games for us last season where he was like the it factor, or and he kind of needed to be the it factor because we were so small. But and no dig on you, Carter. I'm just saying, you're not getting up there and grabbing 10 rebounds. But yeah, I feel like if Klaus gave himself a little bit more, you know, let it fly. Because they like we felt like we beat them by 30, but when we checked the stat sheet, we only beat them by 14.
Yeah, it did feel like a higher margin of victory for you guys than what was on the stat sheet. But
Maybe a louder margin of victory.
yeah, okay. It always seems huge when you're scoring a basket to go up one and Levi's, rolling around on the floor, starts barking. It's like, okay, are they up by 30? They could be. I have no idea.
I don't want anybody else to know that we only just got up by one. The heart and soul, man. That's what I bring.
Yeah, that's right. And I can see this team being in the finals for some reason. I can also see them just being a first round exit to another squad, like when they run into a matchup like you guys. Like, I don't know.
The thing with this team is I think they are well rounded, and I think they can compete with anyone because that Bari and Bob and Klaus trio can really put on a good show. What concerns me about last week is that Bari had great stats. He had 32, 9, and 6. And I think that's really great stats for him. And if he can average 32, that's great. But in a loss, I think that's more concerning than not. I mean, Casco Crush, he did play really well, shot really well. But if he has to put up those numbers every night and it's close, I feel like that's a bit of course for concern. Because that's really high output. But then again, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, not sure how it's gonna pan out.
Yeah, I think it was a rough night for them. I know Kaysen, they had their first football game, first Prairie Winds Wild football game, so pretty exciting
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
He got some nice picks in the game, but it was a hot day. They're wearing black, and he was pretty gassed coming into that basketball game. So I think you'll get more out of him, especially in transition. Usually, Lane only went for 10 points. I think he's good for 17 to 20 a night. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
we gotta.
think
Yeah, I think
he's
he
much
took
better.
some. Yeah, we didn't see him in the pre-draft much or the first exhibition game. I think did we? No,
He
I don't know if
missed,
we.
I want to say he's missed 2 so far.
I don't know if we did, but he's just got to get his feet underneath him. I want to see him start clapping his hands and getting after
Yeah,
guys. And come on, let's
I want
go.
to see Hype Lane at 2. I do want to see Hype Lane.
Levi versus Lane.
That's the matchup. Though, like I circled the days that I get to play Lane.
I will
I
pay big
love
money to
playing
come watch
against
those
Lane.
games. Pay big
I
money.
love it. Those are the loudest games of the season. Yeah, don't bring your kids. Don't bring your kids to those games.
Not safe for
Yeah,
work.
we'll scare them. We'll scare them away.
One thing I will comment on, they played with 8. We let them play with 8 because it's a preseason game. I guess first of all, David apparently got married the day before, so David stud showing up. Get
Shout
to
out.
the wedding. That's impressive.
Let's
That's
go.
commitment. That's a commitment we need for this league.
Yes, sir.
But biggest thing we saw very quickly when there was 8 on a team, the kind of bickering, starting, that kind of stuff, not getting enough playing time. The only way the league works with the draft as it does, I think, is if we keep it to 7 on a team. And the only way
Yeah.
that happens is if guys commit to contacting GMs, saying when they're not going to be there, making sure subs are filling in, all that kind of stuff. Because we saw very quickly with 8 guys that it goes downhill. So, 1, be committed. 2, let your GM know, not the day of, let them know 4 days in advance that you're not going to be there if you're not going to be there, so they can get subs and make this thing work.
Yep, good point.
Cool.
I think David showing up.
Let's I want to hop into some hot takes with Levi. Levi, what do you got for us? Like that.
I got a couple of the first one that I want to start off with was there was a day last week, Wednesday, where Carter invited me out to Wings with a couple of fellas. And I was sitting there and I pitched them this idea. I want to know what you guys think of the idea, but I also want to know what you think of this take. Um what's Ezra's last name, Carter?
Vanderbeek.
Vanderbeek. Okay, awesome. So I pitched them this idea that like uh potential if like the league gets to the point where there's like an all-star weekend where we could have like 3-point shootout and all-star game. The third thing, instead of a skills competition, because we don't have the Antetokounmpo brothers here, the third thing that I was thinking of is a one-on-one tournament where like everyone a certain height and up has to play each other, then everyone a certain height and down has to play each other. And Ezra Vanderbeek, when I pitched them this idea, Carter was like, "Yo, that'd be so sick." And Ezra said, "I'd win the whole thing."
Ooh.
Ezra Vanderbeek. So I think I think the height cutoff that I used was like 5 or like 6 foot and up had to play each other, and then 6 foot down had to play each other, or like 5'11" and down had to play each other. And Ezra said he'd win the whole thing. So I'm curious.
Yeah.
So he'd win the whole thing with the 6 foot and under. He's not saying he's winning the whole
Yeah,
thing. Okay.
yeah. But I'm curious as to think like who you guys would think.
I think you
In a
got to mesh
one-on-one
it all
tournament?
together.
You
I
got to
think you
mesh
got
it
to
all together.
mesh all the heights together. I'd love to see
'Cause
Pat
if
go
we-
against Bari, because I think Bari stands a chance in that. You know,
Yeah.
I think that Patty would win the whole thing. And
hot take.
it's
Hot
not
take.
just
That is a
because
hot
it's
take.
not just
Sorry.
because
That's
he's
a
my
hot
boy,
take.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
hot.
but I think Patrick would win the whole thing.
I love Pat. I love Pat, but there are some skilled one-on-one guys in this league.
Mm.
I'd probably throw money on Kendall.
Oh, let's go.
You just seem like a dog that I wouldn't want to play against in one-on-one.
I just go Charles Barkley. I'll just back into guys all
Back
day
in,
long.
pump fake, call his own foul, get the ball at the top again. Pump fake, pump fake.
No,
Yeah.
I think you need someone who's going to be able to shoot the 3 ball. I
I was
think
thinking
you can-
Jackson maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm right here, Carter. I actually cooking ones. That's all I'm saying.
Can a guy like Justin beat a Jackson just because he's got a little more height? Does he have a shot against Jackson?
I think Justin would be good in a one-on-one tournament. Absolutely. Could he win? Tough.
I think you're
That'd be-
also like Scott and Mike. They can't. I don't know if they shoot it as well as Justin shoots it, but I feel like they also have the height and like strength to do what Justin maybe can't do down low. Like they can go up top and they can also go down low. So
I also
You hear
think
that,
might-
Justin? You can't go down low, Justin. You hear that? That's what Levi said, not me.
Levi said it. I also think Bari could win. Bari could definitely win the whole thing too.
Yeah, with no
Yeah.
outside defense, that guy blows my guys.
He's getting to the rim every time.
so
Or
With
Josh, too.
though. Yeah, Josh.
actually, yeah,
If
Josh can
is
shoot
hitting
over
threes,
anybody.
no one's touching him in that, I think. Josh is
Mhm.
hitting threes, it's over. I think. That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
That's a fun idea, Levi. I like that.
I like it too. I would almost wonder if an outcast like Sean Boone would be a dog in that because he's big enough, he's athletic enough, strong enough
Yeah.
to guard bigs and smalls. He would be a dark horse in a 1v1 situation.
I think so. There would be some interesting dark horses in that. If it was like league wide, or like if you did it like, because I'm assuming if you did league wide, some people would be like 1-on-1, screw that, I'm not going to show up for it. But if you made like guys sign up, or you said like there's like 20 spots or whatever, then
$500
I think
reward.
that'd be
$500
that'd
Chop
be-
Leaf gift card.
Shout out Chop Leaf. Thanks for the sponsor.
We'll go I don't know, $20 buy-in. I'll organize, I'll keep half, and winner takes half.
There you go. Insane.
I'm in.
In
I think Carter's a
In-
dark horse too. Carter's a good one-on-one player.
Ah,
He's too humble about it. Look at him. He hits threes.
that's nice of you, but I like if I go against like a Bari or a Jackson or someone who can
Or a
back me
Levi.
down, it's gonna be really hard. I gotta
Yeah,
hit like
but-
every three.
yeah.
If it keeps, I gotta hit like 6 threes. Then maybe I have a chance, but it'd be tough. It'd be really hard for me to pull that off. So I appreciate
I
it.
think ones is volatile. I think anybody could beat anybody. It just depends on who's shooting well. Only 3 dribbles too. 3 dribble one-on-ones. That's
three dribble.
that's-
I
I'm
hate
out,
3
I'm out.
dribble one-on-ones. Yeah, no, not 3
Yeah,
dribble one-on-ones.
Yeah, Kendall, you don't get 8 dribbles to back someone down and then pump fake
Yeah.
three
I
times.
need 5+. I need 5+ just to like get confident feeling the ball in my hand.
Cool.
My other take that I have is all of this is just based on preseason stuff. I think the league is going to see its first 40/45 plus point game. And Josh and Bari are hot contenders for that accolade. But I think that Justin's gonna give us 40. Justin or Billy.
Interesting. We have seen some 40-point games in the past. Billy had 40 in our last playoff game against
That doesn't
Devo
count.
last year.
That
He
game
took
meant
it.
nothing.
He took 32
Oh.
shots to get to 40.
Yeah,
But
that doesn't-
he got there. And yeah, there's definitely some 40-point potential in this league for sure. You guys remember that exhibition game last season? Carter went 15 for 21 from 3. He could definitely do that
yeah.
again.
So far not looking so good, my friend. I think that
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Kim, but I don't think so. I think that
Good to
if
see confidence coming from my team.
Hey, I gotta keep him honest a little bit. I'm not trying to put a target on my back either. But the if something might happen where like Josh has the potential to shoot like maybe 25 to 30 times a game, he could put up 40 in multiple games. I truly believe that. I think that's my take on that. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh yeah, what do you think, Kendall?
I think I'd almost be in the Levi talking about Justin being the guy to get 40 or Billy. I think just that 1-2 punch, and you get a guy like Billy say just is going to choose. We're going to get Justin a 40-point game, right? And ball
Yeah.
every time. Josh maybe doesn't have the supporting cast that would buy into. Let's make sure we get 40.
Yeah.
I can see Jackson going for a 40. He's been attacked, been aggressive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just gotta, yeah. I think we go for Levi though. We're gonna commit one game, Levi, you're the one shooting, and
Levi 40-point game. We love to see
Just
it.
shoot it every time, Levi. If you
We
take
wanna see
60
it.
shots, you're bound to hit like what, 30% of them, 35% of them?
If I have a game this season where I go above 13 points, I'm gonna break down and cry like Derrick Rose after he hit 50.
Patrick
Um,
Beverly in that Timberwolves game on the
Yeah, Patrick
there,
Beverly in the
the
Timberwolves
play-in
game.
win.
Like he just won the
Yeah.
championship. He's crying.
No.
He's throwing his jersey.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
my house, Anthony Edwards is like, trying to get up on the scoring table and put a leash on him. Seriously.
You could start taking
Um,
bids on your jersey if you score over 13. I'd put a few bids on it, dude.
Yeah, no, we gotta get some sort of sports bookie out here to give us some over unders and get a
People bet
little
on it.
action going on who's for. Honestly, the first week of that, I would take the under on Carter's 3-point shooting. But
Yes.
Yeah, I might too. I might
Yeah.
as well, actually. Bet on my under.
Um, yeah, I also picked some people now at the start of the season who I think are just going to take home the awards, and I'm interested in what you guys think.
I know.
So
I already know
MVP,
who the number one is. I already know who the number one MVP choice for you is. I don't want to talk about it.
who's my MVP vote?
Just go. Just go. Just say it, and I'll tell you if I was thinking
Okay, my MVP vote is gonna be Kendall.
Oh,
him. Wow.
Levi.
Yeah,
Did you see his last
I'm
game,
sorry.
Levi?
No, I did. But here's the thing: in those games where it's gonna matter, where we need to win, I feel like K Dizzle, a good nickname for him as well. Like the commish is okay, but now that he's not, like, he's away from the GM noise, this season is this season he doesn't have that. Everyone's like, oh, he's a GM, he rigs it, he's a commish, he rigs it.
He
I
still
mean, we got-
He
does.
still rigs it, bro. He definitely still rigs
It
it.
doesn't
I
matter.
don't know. I don't know.
Because you're on
Maybe
his
I've drank-
team. Turns a
Well,
blind eye now.
maybe I drank the Kool-Aid. Carter, maybe you should get on his team and you see how nice the Kool-Aid is over
Levi's
here. It's
three
delicious.
Levi's top three MVP picks right now are Kendall, Jackson, and Devo.
Actually, no, they're Kendall and Josh Crawford or a dark horse.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are my MVP picks.
Yeah, it's about storyline, just like the NBA. Barr is gonna get voter fatigue, and he's gonna fall off. He's gonna fall out of the MVP race.
Oh, Cam, calm down.
Voter
calm down,
fatigue.
calm down. I don't want an
Easy.
angry Barry on.
It's
against
like
us,
how
bro.
LeBron
Please-
should have won it
please
all those
stop.
years, or Giannis should win it every year, but nobody wants to vote for them because it's boring.
Right. Or PG being, top 4 MVP voting. Anyways. I feel like Barr is gonna average the most points this season.
Let's go.
That's not really that hot. Patrick is gonna be Defensive Player of the Year.
Solid.
And-
I don't see that one. I don't see that one unless he gets traded.
Unless he gets traded.
I think with his squad, there's too many bigs. He's
Hmm.
not controlling the paint because he doesn't have to. They're all there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that he could win a Defensive Player of the Year.
I'm curious to see how that'll work out. There's a lot of good defensive players. I wonder if we'll just gravitate towards the guys who always do it, like Marriott and Greeno and some of those guys. Because there's a lot of good defense being played on every team.
What do you guys think about Scott?
That's
Scott
what I was
Lamb.
thinking. I'd like to see him embrace that role. You have enough scorers around you. You have
Yeah.
facilitators. Just lock in on D. Scott is not fun to play against. So if he actually
No.
committed to that side fully, I think he would be a top 3 for me.
He went up and got a block off of the backboard last game, and that was mean.
Oh, yeah. He still gets up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think Billy or Kendall is going to lead in assists. And my second pick for Defensive Player of the Year was going to be Tim or Barry. But I don't know. I haven't seen Tim play a lot, so.
I don't know.
Kendall
if
leading
Swim
in
Trunks-
assists, hey?
I'm-
Kendall,
I'm cringing
You
on
can't
that
just-
point for Tim. Sorry, Swim Trunks. You're a great ball player. You're not winning deep points.
Tell him, tell
you're
him,
just
tell
put-
him. Talk to him.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
come back.
Say
Yeah.
it louder.
Bring him
say it
down.
louder, please.
Man, you got Kendall atop a lot of things. Kendall, how do you feel about you possibly leading the league in assists?
I told you, Cam, once they added the pi factor, so that's the player influence factor. My goal is to be at the top of that. So I'm fine with not being at the top of the very top of assists, rebounds, steals, boards. I don't have to be the very top of anything, but I want to be the top of the like when they all come into play.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's hard to compete with Billy, man. He just, when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, it's just coming out of his hands to go to someone else.
Yeah.
And they're usually getting the basket. So
Yeah, he'll be in the running there. Patty will for sure be in the running there. A guy like Greeno could be. Yeah, I don't know.
Bob usually does really well on the stat
Yeah,
sheet.
probably solid there. It's tough because I'm very lazy when I can be. And so like this game when the boys were taking care of it, I don't do anything because it's like, is it worth running up and down the floor as hard as I can? So we need tight games so that I have that fire and I don't get it just to be lazy. So guys, quit hitting shots. Don't shoot like you did yesterday. Make me work for it. And
All right,
Fair enough.
heard Kendall. And then this one, I'm so prepared for you guys to tell me how wrong I am. Uh, in a redraft of the top, I'm gonna say 10 in a redraft of the top 10 of the season, based on one game alone. I think Devin Wanna goes 10 or should go 10.
Man, who knew we'd bring Levi on? And he just like, oh my gosh. The amount of Casco crush talk. I just can't. Like
It's propaganda. I've got another one that's completely void of our team, but I mean, the way that he looked before the game, I was sitting there with Jackson and we were just like goofing off, and I look over and I saw Devo, and he was like just kind of sitting with his knees up towards his chest, just looking at like the floor, and just had this like mean look on his face as if he was like gonna punch anybody who came over and said, "Hey, what up, Devo?" Like, was like, I think he was kind of jokey in the chat about like, "Ooh, drafted third round. That this is gonna be insane. Like, I'm gonna prove people wrong." But I think he's on a mission, and he's gonna be on some last dance. I took that personally, kind of stuff this season. So I'm so looking forward to it.
he does look good. He does look good to start the year.
yeah, guys locked in. I love it. I saw him at shift getting some shots up during the day. I don't know, 2 days before our last game, and so I was like, all right, let's go, Devo. He's ready to go.
And your guys getting shots up while my guys are just spraining their ankles.
Look, man, I'm still getting in work. It's just I like to play different sports, man. Basketball's not my number one. Sorry.
What other sports? What other sports could you play, Carter?
I saw your bro at futsal, dude. Bro playing goalie, what a legend. Anyways, totally off topic. Sorry.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought there was a height requirement for other sports, but okay, never mind. Um,
Oh.
and this one, I'm probably also wrong on again. I think this is my last like steamer of a hot take. But aside from Kendall, I think I'm the number one reason for why the league has so much deep talent.
You think you're the number one reason why the league has so much deep talent?
Because listen to this. Before we started throwing on jerseys and getting Allen Iverson to track our stats, this was just like a bunch of turkey burgers playing like paying $10 a session, playing for like quarters, and then like asking people for subs. So Jackson asked me to be a sub, and then I begged and pleaded Jackson, please let Carter be a sub. Let him sub for you. And then Carter came to the league. And then because I brought Carter to the league, Carter has brought the Penner boys. The Penner boys have brought whoever they have brought in. And then Carter has continued to bring in better hoopers. I also brought in Alex, who I'm pretty sure brought in Justin, or could have been someone else, but I think Alex brought in Justin. So
I
there's
don't
that.
think so.
I also brought in Jack, and Jack brought in Josh, and Josh has brought in other hoopers, and Josh is insane. And he also brought in like what's his name? I can't remember. Oh, he's a sub. Never mind. But
I think what you're alluding to here is Jackson allowed you to invite all these people. Shout out Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson.
Thank you, Jackson, making the league so deep.
Yes, sir.
You too, Levi. Shout out you, buddy.
Yeah, good job, Levi.
Good job.
We need guys like you bringing talent to this league.
Mm.
Not too much talent. I don't want to be the 8th best player on my team, when I finally win a championship in 10 years.
Rebuilding year.
Yeah, I'm just aiming for next year, dynasty,
Dynasty. Dude.
I'm stacking up my picks. I wish I could trade for future picks. That'd be awesome. I would tank this season so hard.
Oh my days.
Cam,
Doesn't
is
work like
this are you done GM after this season no matter what?
Oh, geez. I said that this year too. I love being GM. I love taking guys and working out all the trades and swapping picks and kind of just getting a new team every year. But I also just am curious to get drafted, see what that looks like. Just come in, play ball. At the end of this season, when Sports Visio has me as the most 3-pointers made and highest 3-point percentage, I guess I'll be a hot pick for someone, just to start ripping threes, ripping the cords.
Yes, sir.
Cam, if I'm a
Goals.
GM next year, I'll take you third
Goals.
round.
Third, please.
I'll take you third round. Third or
At
second,
least
your
top
choice.
top 7, at least. Don't laugh. You know it's
I
true.
love it. I know it's true.
At least if I get drafted before Carter, that's all I want. That'd be awesome.
No comment.
Depending on how the season
comment.
plays out, that might be the case.
No comment.
All right.
No comment.
Thanks for the hot takes, Levi.
Yeah, I hope they weren't too
Stuff.
garbage.
They were great.
They were good.
I thought it was
Thanks,
good.
Levi.
I thought it was good. Carter, Cam, anything you want to say before we shut down for the night?
Carter.
What would I like to say? I'm having a lot of fun. Excited for the year. AI is super cool. And shout out Isaiah for putting up 18 last game. That was my star performer of the week. Shout out you, man. Happy to have you in the league. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm excited to get the season going. Get started up. Start up with a big W versus Boardman gets paid. Logan Penner, I'm talking to you. You're cooked. Okay. So yeah, it's a good group of guys again. Don't talk back to the refs, and we'll all have a fun game. I will tee people up.
All right. Levi?
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to, honestly, this is like so much fun, and it's such a good reset on Sunday night. Kind of like sets the tone for the week for me to really just lock into everything that I'm doing. And I love hanging out, love getting to meet everybody. And honestly, everyone's just so awesome. And the community is just so awesome. And it's just so, like, that's the only word that I got. Everything is awesome. And I hope it continues to stay awesome. Yeah.
From the Lego movie.
Yeah, that's the only word that I got. Awesome.
Love it.
How
Awesome.
about you,
All right.
Kendall? Send us off.
Send us off. I was going to send us off with predictions for the week. So, first game, obviously Billy's squad has the bye. First game, we have Net Profits versus Principal's Office. Who you got winning that? We'll start Levi. Who's winning?
Give me Net Profits.
Net Profits.
Ooh, there's the
Net
hottest take of the
profits.
night.
Carter, who you
Net
got?
Profits.
Net Profits versus who? Sorry, yeah.
Versus Principal's Office.
Give me Principal's Office. I got Barry taking that one.
Cam?
PO all the way, baby.
Principal's
Yeah.
Office. Oof. I'm gonna go Net Profits as well. I'm gonna go
Let's
with
go.
Levi.
We should keep track of our picks every week. And
Cool. That's a good
see
call.
the
I'm writing them down. I'm writing them down right now.
are you writing down the
Alrighty.
picks?
So
Nice,
Levi,
Levi.
you're tracking that all season long. Then we'll have you back at the end of the season to say who's the best predictor. Next
All
one,
right, we'll see it.
we have Casco Crush versus Shake and Bake. Cam, who you got?
As much as it pains me to say this, I'm taking the Crush. Levi's going for 40.
Yeah, give me KK. Casco Crush.
Right on.
Woo!
I obviously got to go to the same. Levi's
Yeah, no, I'm taking the Crush on that one. Not about to go back on my own squad here.
And then we have our Boardman gets paid versus Cobb. Levi, who you got?
Ooh, Boardman gets paid versus Cobb. I'm gonna say, and this is I'm gonna write this one down just so that everyone's got it. I'm gonna say Cobb. I'm gonna say Cobb by 1 point. Cobb by a free throw.
That's the tiebreaker right there.
All right.
Yeah.
So Cam Carter, obviously you guys are going Cobb, but by how much?
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the
How much?
cob. Give us by 6.
Yeah, corn on the cob by 11.
11. Okay. I gotta go
Set the over
contrary.
under.
I'm going Boardman. I do think Tim's gonna have a huge bounce back night.
Oh, yeah.
After that shooting last week, but I got Boardman. I think they're gonna match up with you guys well. All right. On that note,
All right.
pleasure as always. Have a great week.
Thanks
guys.
for having me, boys.
See
Thanks
you
for coming,
guys.
Levi.
Coming, Levi. Thank you, Levi. Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Good job.